Okay, we're back again. Some more protests, and don't have any coronavirus news today. Today's all about social media influencers mostly. So, start out. T2 covering the news. Jake Paul got arrested for looting Scottsdale, Arizona shopping mall. Apparently, it's going to be like really misdemeanor trespassing and unlawful assembly kind of charges. So I don't think it's going to stick. He came out and said that he wasn't actually looting. Like, there's a P.F. Chang's he was near also, that he was just filming it because he's never going to see it again in his lifetime. And somebody handed him a vodka bottle that they thought he might have been looting. And I don't know. He's claiming that he didn't actually loot anything. He was just there to film it. And he'll probably get out of it because he's got a lot of money and fucking nothing. Nobody ever gets punished for things that they do unless you're poor. Rich people and cops are the only ones that get away with shit. Except now it seems like the cops are actually getting charged with stuff. And the next great big influencer, Trump. You probably saw the big photo op with Trump where people spray painted the gatehouse of the White House and they set it on fire. And they shot everybody with pepper balls. Like, in Obama's time, he would actually walk around with people and I don't know. People were trying to make comparisons to Obama, but then I remember that Mark Maron podcast that Obama was on where he had the streets cleared for like a week or two ahead of time, and they were like interviewing people in surrounding houses and had snipers up on the roof, and they had like a tent set out in front of Mark Maron's garage. So anytime a president goes out somewhere, they have to like have a crazy amount of Secret Service presence and police and stuff. But he had people shot with pepper balls just so he can go out and take a photo with the Bible. And there's that famous clip of Trump. They ask him what his favorite Bible verse is, and he can't name any. So he's just like, he's a populist. As well, I told my mom and dad. My dad got real pissed yesterday. Went and visited my parents. He's a huge Trump fan because all they do is sit at home and watch Fox News. And every time I go up there, I think I'm going to be arguing about one thing, and it turns out they don't know anything about what I want to talk about. Like, they didn't know what a no-knock raid was, and they hadn't heard of the Breonna and Louisville shooting. My dad said he did, but then they hadn't heard of the total murder in Texas. Like, all of this stuff's all connected. This is just the George Floyd thing is the straw that broke the camel's back. Remember that thing? Who was it? It was like Duncan Trussell or Joe Rogan was talking about when a monkey, there's a group of monkeys and they start learning something. When the 100th monkey learns that thing, then everybody learns it. That's what this is. Like me and a few other people that watch like people that do audits and police accountability videos. We knew all this stuff was going on, and like finally when this George Floyd thing happened, there was enough people that saw what was happening that everybody said this is enough, and now we're getting to the point where people are actually being held accountable for it, because now all the monkeys know the 100th monkey has been reached, and now we're at capacity and everybody's pissed off and they're not going to take shit like this anymore, hopefully. But yeah, that was pretty shitty of Trump. Trump's also had a video of the George Floyd memorial or something he tried to post, and it was like something copyright claimed on it, so Twitter's banning that, and they've been putting up more warnings about like graphic content. So Twitter and Trump are really having I don't know why Twitter doesn't just ban Trump, because he's just a user like anybody else. Plus it'd be really hilarious. Back on the social media influencer thing, I'm sure everybody saw this video. This woman like pretending to be working on some, it doesn't even look boarded up. Before it looked like it was boarded up, and she was like trying to, I don't know, help fix something. And then she gets into a Mercedes and drives off. And then there's all these other videos of like, this woman's in front of a T-Mobile that's been broken into. This one was just like posing in front of a bunch of protesters. On the one hand, it really looks real shitty. But on the other hand, it's like, this is a lifetime historical event probably. It's going to be talked about for hundreds of years. So when else are you going to get the chance to like pose in front of it? Like, if you could go back and pose in front of something historical, would you do it? I don't know, probably. Would you go back to like pose in front of Pearl Harbor being bombed or something like that? Like, it seems kind of shitty. And let's see, here's another one. This is actually a guy who started a Twitter account called Influencers in the Wild. And this was before even all this stuff was going on. He just like finds people doing weird photo ops out in public. It looks stupid. Like, yeah, here's another one. Somebody posing in front of a boarded up. That's not just a piece of plywood in front of, yeah, I guess it's boarded up. This one here looks real shitty. It's got her Black Lives Matter sign out. It's trying to get in the middle of an empty street or a crosswalk so you can get the photo. These ones are guys jumping for joy, trying to get that freeze frame in front of a Humvee. I guess it's just so embarrassing. I don't know how these ones actually got arrested. I think that was before the riots and all happened. These are just people taking advantage of like the streets being empty and trying to get some weird photos because the streets are empty. I don't know. What do you guys think about this? I think that's actually nude, so we probably shouldn't show that. This one here, remember these guys, the George Floyd challenge guys? I think they might all got arrested. I think they were in the Northeast somewhere. I forgot what it said. So let's get on to some actual news. We got the 2 Buffalo officers charged with assault over police shoving a 75-year-old man to the ground. I'm sure you probably saw this video.
Tonight, 2 Buffalo police officers pleaded.
I thought the guy died. Apparently he's okay now. He's like alert. They just pushed him down. It was a little bit after curfew. Okay, they don't show it here, but he's actually had a big pool of blood coming out of his skull when he landed on the concrete. They assaulted the man. You don't just go up and assault people. Even if they're breaking the law, you handcuff them, you take them to jail, let them have their day in court. So that's what this guy, let's see, somebody, was it Cuomo? Clearly crossed the line. I can't turn a blind eye to that. That was District Attorney John Flynn. If he was violating a curfew, if he was being disorderly, you turn him around, handcuff him, and take him away arrested. It's simple as that. You don't take a baton and shove it along with the officer next to him using his right hand to shove him and knock him down, crack his head and skull on the concrete. So then, this union has been on the wrong side of history for a very long period of time. They have been a real barrier to reform of policing in the city of Buffalo. That's everywhere. Then Cuomo says there's no tolerance for delay of justice in society anymore. Because that's what would happen before. The police officers do really shitty shit like this, and they might charge them. They might give them administrative leave or something, and then they would let it die down. They would let everybody like forget about it, and then they would drop all the charges. They wouldn't do it while it's still fresh on everybody's mind. They would delay justice until they could get away with it. And now there's enough people pissed off that they're just gonna like take justice in their own hands if you don't do it. That's why you gotta kill all cops. I'm just saying. What's this one about? Oh, this was the cops that destroyed the medical tents or thing that they had set up for the protesters. Like they had water bottles and bandages and stuff. And they just started taking the water bottles and stomping on them and poking holes in them. Just to be dicks. And that's what's happened now with this protest, is that a lot of people's racism is coming out. You're seeing people's true beliefs. You're seeing the way cops want to act all the time, but they don't because they know they're going to get away with it. I don't know why they're doing it now, because they're not going to get away with it, because we're filming everything and making it all public. Cops are actually getting charged now, but they're used to just getting away with shit. So there's this little period in between there where they don't know that they're not going to get away with it, and they're fucking up big time. That's why you got to like get rid of all the cops we have now and start over with new ones. I should make a video about my whole like plans or what I would do to like reform the whole thing and fix all the like start over fresh with new cops. That would take a while to do. Here's another example. Let's see, this guy. They think they can get away with this stuff like this, just fucking around with those pepper balls. And the rubber bullets that they're supposed to be shooting at the ground and bouncing them into people's lower extremities, they're just shooting them right in the face with it, which you can kill somebody with a rubber bullet easily. You can throw shards of their skull back into their brain, you can hit them in the eye, and the bullet will just go right through it. You can stop somebody's heart with it. It's just a bullet encased in rubber. It's not like it's a piece of rubber that's getting shot out. It's actually a ball of lead with rubber wrapped around it. So once he says his pregnant wife's in the car, they keep shooting him. Although if he did really care about his wife, you think he would just keep going and not stop and give him an opportunity to do that. At the same time, they're just fucking around like a bunch of kids with toys. They got their paintball guns out and their riot gear on. They want to use their toys that they've had all this time. That's why you gotta... This is the wrong type of people that should be doing that job. And then, finally, we've got this truck driver, which also reminds me of another Duncan Trussell quote. I think he said one time that something was like, when you put a light on somebody doing a crime or something, it's like everybody swarms around them and they cover them like white blood cells and they try to purge the virus from the system. Like this was a truck driver who tried to get through the roads. I mean, I'm kind of, as much as I am against the police, I'm also against protesters blocking roads and destroying property and rioting that's still be replaced with your taxpayer money. Like, what is that? How is that protesting against the cops? If you want to protest the cops, do something to the cops. Don't do something to the average citizens just trying to get about their day. So the truck tries to plow through them. He ends up getting stopped, and then as soon as they see they're not going to get run over, everybody swarms from the sides. I think they drag the driver out and put him in the hospital and shit. That's pretty much, I don't know. I kind of have no remorse for people that stand in the middle of a highway. If you just want to shut down society, that's not protesting. That's anarchy. That's like, it's not even Antifa. That's just pure anarchists. But there's so many of them that doesn't relate to the amount of anarchists that we think we have. So I don't know what's going on here. I don't know why people think this helps, just blocking roads. And burn the police station down. Just don't burn down like the PF Chang's or the AutoZone. Why would you do that? Don't make any sense. Alright. Hopefully there won't be too many more of these videos, but shit just keeps happening.